All right, welcome to Let's Get Juicy with Melissa Bradley and Christina Litman. I am Christina Litman. It is my joy juiciness to be here with all of you today and with my blessedy,
Blessed you. I like that.
bestie, Melissa Bradley. It is our joy juiciness to be here and wishing you so much aloha as you join us as we deep dive into this great grand adventure we call Let's Get Juicy.
Yes.
We do with every gathering. We start out with a centering prayer. So I'm going to invite all of us to just turn within as we close our outer eye and we just take a deep breath together. We just exhale everything that has come before this moment and just become ever so present. How grateful I am, how grateful we are to be alive and awake and on this great grand adventure together. For there is truly only one of us here. I'm so grateful for this breath. I'm so grateful for our time together. I am so grateful that we have this technology that we get to convey God through the ether, through the airways, through this Godcast. We cast upon the waters God, the infinite God, the omnipresent God, the omniactive. There is only one power, one presence, one love. And that is my life. That is our life. That we are truly the divine matrix of unity right here and right now. And so as I deep dive into this prayer, I claim and proclaim that this Godcast is so blessed, full to overflowing with wisdom and wonder and delight and joy and pure perfection. For
Mm.
this and so much more, I give thanks, blessing our time together. And so it is. Amen.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, always so nourishing, so juicy. Before Christina said, "Hey, you want to, lead us in?" And I was like, "I totally can." I said, "But every time it's such a transmission, and I feel such an upliftment." So it's like, "Yes, please." And she said, "Yes," thankfully. So yeah, we're so beyond blessed to be here with each of you, and we are on quite an adventure right now, aren't we? And I would say if I was going to name the adventure, I feel like it's the adventure of coming home, full time, forevermore, to living
Yeah.
in heaven while on earth, within our heart, within our soul space, within our infinite nature, with God, with all that is, and with the rainbow frequencies, and anything else that you want to include in that.
The
So,
cloud frequencies.
whoop, whoop. So we were having a bit of a exploration conversation, which Christina and I do. That's how this all started. And is this that, in what ways do we move from resistance, like tuning into what are we resisting, to our true nature of receptivity? We are really, if we wanted to label it, maybe you have a wording for it, or our beautiful listeners do, but we're human receivers, really. Like we came here to receive.
Yeah.
And so often though we've become quite masterful at resisting, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Yes.
Resisting the love, resisting the potential. We are infinite love. We are infinite light. We are infinite presence. We are infinite potential. How much? I'm just being honest with myself, with yourself, with everyone listening here. How much of your life, right? Have we spent in resistance?
Yeah. Yes.
What? So, yeah, what are your noticings around maybe, your life right now? We could bring up what we were talking about earlier as an example of resistance. It's a very personal example, but we don't have to. We could go somewhere
Oh, I
else with it.
think
But
it's, you and I are so transparent about our bumpy rides that we are on because we know that we're juicers.
yes.
all for the glory of God. And if our examples can help other people know that, number one, they're not alone. It's
Yes.
a very human thing to be
Yeah.
experiencing resistance at times. And how do we juice that, right? How do we become brave explorers and adventurers on this journey to alchemize it? As we have said in the past, that it's really important to what is, to grasp, okay, once I'm feeling it and I kind of have the full expression of this resistance, now what is the wisdom that
Yes.
I can acquire to uplift and uplevel my own life experience while I'm here on this journey, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So if is there an example that you feel comfortable like talking about how you've been in resistance and how you've just moved
Mm,
into receptivity?
mm. Well, I would say that, there's been I mean, we're 57. We're both still 57 right now.
Yeah.
And so, in my 57 years, there's been a lot, probably a lot that I have resisted in my life. And relationships, right? Relationships.
Yeah.
For anyone listening, have you ever resisted, after a divorce or after a breakup, the other person, the perception, right, of that there was another person
Yeah.
involved in what you are now feeling, right? Feeling
Woo!
in your heart, feeling in your gut, feeling in your nervous system, feeling in your mind, feeling in your cells. So, right before this this live conversation, Christina was sharing with me that an ex-partner of mine, will just get in and get juicy, mine was, returning to, well, let's just say Maui, which is a bit of my playground. And I was the invitation for him to come over, and he didn't want to be there any longer, and now he does. And all good and all fair in that way. Of course, he has every right to be there, as I do. So, but I noticed, oh, I could feel, my nervous system getting, because I'm heading to Maui this summer as well at some point. So I could feel the resistance. And I was telling Christina that, wow, I've cleared so much from my system, from my field, however you want to name it, that it was like a little pebble dropped in, right? And it created all of a sudden these ripples in my again my nervous system. And I was like, okay, I could just breathe and be present and notice, because I no longer get hijacked
Right?
by
Yes.
by the feelings, by the thoughts, by the emotions. I'm no longer willing to be quote unquote hijacked. And I'm pretty sure everybody would know what I mean by that because I used to. Right? The
Right.
emotions would just take over and it would be this explosion, or the thought would have me in such a loop that I couldn't release it and I wouldn't be able to sleep. I don't participate, I don't play that way any longer. Thank God. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. So just in us, having this conversation, and Christina and I's commitment is to juicing everything, right? To juicing every moment. So we were like, okay, there's something, something to be juiced here. And we just kept being breathing and being present with each other and being in curiosity, I guess. One of the key ingredients, I think, for when we are feeling resistance is to become curious, with that resistance. Because I think the curiosity is like I'm getting like this warm, soft, welcoming blanket. It's like when a baby is birthed on the earth, and what do we want? We want a nice, warm, welcoming blanket, right? To receive that precious newborn baby that represents symbolic of innocence and purity and life and God, and so I'm just getting that around resistance. What if we, wrapped a beautiful warm blanket of curiosity, um, around this resistance that we're feeling. So the more that we were playing with it, the more that things were opening, the more that things were becoming into awareness, the more I was personally feeling oneness in this situation. And then all of a sudden, I told Christina, I felt compassion in every direction. Like as a being, we are infinite love, infinite light, infinite potential, infinite compassion. And I felt compassion in every direction. And it was just like all the resistance just went, whew, just like,
Mm.
and I was like, okay, wow, all right.
Right. It had a way out as you're speaking, and I so appreciate your transparency and honesty that I was thinking about people in the audience and how it's interesting how the mind loops. You use that so perfectly because I understand going through a divorce right now where the mind will loop into that resistance pattern and then create a narrative with it. Like it's
Oh,
almost
yes.
creating its own version of what's actually happening.
Hmm.
And it's not actually happening, but it is in our mind and in our body system and in our nervous system. And it feels so real. And we're reacting, not responding, we're reacting from its, oh, it must be so, right? Because I'm feeling it this way. But truly, I want to slow it down just a bit
Yeah,
because
please.
you and I are both embodiment coaches to slow
Mhm.
it down and just use this example, if you're okay with it,
Absolutely.
to
Yes.
when you heard this news, because we don't bypass things that I just want to let everyone know. We're not saying go into the compassion. That's a huge leap over a big gaping, divide.
Mm.
Sometimes it's easier to get there than others. And I'm not saying you can't get there. I'm just saying sometimes we kind of have to go through the juicing aspect. We got to throw it in the blender. We got
The
to
juicer.
we got to put in the juicer. We have to allow ourselves to be authentically walking side by side with the looping egoic fear, if you will, or resistor patterns,
Mm.
and be curious. So I was just curious as to when you heard that,
Yeah.
what was the first thought, feeling, reaction
Mm.
that showed up for you?
Mm. The first thought was like, that's my playground. That's where I go. That's my safe and sacred space to
Right.
be. So, yes.
So tell me more about um, tell me more about that. So it's your space. And so who's talking, what part of you is saying it's my space? What are you
Mm.
trying to convey there?
Mm. Well, I would say probably the part of me that got really hurt
Yeah.
in that experience, the part of me that thought that I was in a particular type of relationship that clearly I thought the other person was in that as well, and then came to discover that wow, okay, he wasn't. Like one day, we were down by the waters of Eau, and he just announced to me that, he was leaving Maui, and I wasn't invited. I wasn't included. And I had given my heart, my soul, my body, my being, my essence, um, everything to, being with him and the relationship. And it was so shocking. And so, there's a lot more to the, quote unquote story. So I just thought, my first thought was like, why would he return to Maui? That was the place that he chose to leave,
Right.
like,
Right.
and it's Maui's just always felt like home to me. It's always been in my
Right.
heart. So,
And so from that place there's and I'll just put and thank you so much for sharing that because I know that um, it lands over here for me as incredibly personal, incredibly vulnerable,
mm,
and I know that was painful for you,
oh
like
yeah,
really painful to not
most
be
painful
invited.
experience of my life. Yes.
Yeah, to not be invited to go along with him on the journey.
Yeah.
So why am I not being chosen? Like that shows up for me. I'm not putting
Oh
words,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
like why am I not being chosen?
Hmm.
I had a version, and here's the thing that you said, which is so beautiful, because I'm in it myself in my divorce.
Yeah.
I held a different version of this relationship in my mind.
Exactly.
For 32 years, I thought we were pacing together
Right.
in this, we're doing this together.
Yeah.
We are creating together this magnificent life. And with all of the things of hardship,
Yeah.
conflict, but
Yeah.
we're doing it together and we're willing to work together and we're going to make it out the other side because I'm a juicer, I'm an alchemizer, just as you are, right? So I'm seeing the
Brilliant.
unlimited possibility, and all I'm hearing is nope, and we're not going together. So my story's almost identically the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
day, I get the news just randomly out of the blue. I didn't even get EO. I didn't get to go to EO, right? To be in a beautiful place and get the bad news. It's just basically we're misaligned. There wasn't, and I'm not aligned with you and I want a divorce. There was none of that. It was just this vague fucking shit. Sorry, but vague fucking shit of I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Similar theme, right? I'm not doing this.
Yes.
And then now I have to fill in the gaps on, well, what does that mean? What are you saying? My brain's like, I was in this version that we were in this together. And not only the version, you also supported the version, and I know your partner did too, in supporting saying yes to
Yeah.
that version. So we weren't making it up. I just want to be clear, folks.
Yeah.
At a time where we are really making it up, there was words spoken in relation.
There were words that which created a lot more confusion and chaos than
Hello.
was necessary, but yeah.
We're not mad, witchy bitches. We're not hysterical. My daughter said this yesterday, how women get deemed hysterical when they become upset over such things.
Right, right.
Hello.
We're supposed to just walk away, and
We
just
become upset because you said some things
hmm.
and now you're denying that. So it's very confusing.
It is. Well, I think that's that's a bit of the core of it is the confusion, right? And out of that core of confusion becomes a whole lot of resistance. Like we're just like, whoa, we're not sure quite sure how to navigate this, this experience or this circumstance or situation.
Yeah. Let's take a breath. I'm noticing my body tempo right now is really activated.
Yeah, my heart's racing a bit. It's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So thank you
yeah.
for
So if
being here
any of
with
you are
us.
feeling it too, please take a breath with us and let's just co-regulate, knowing that right where we are is sacred,
Mm,
that the infinite presence we call God is holding us in such delight,
mm,
that this is a master program that we are each on right now. And just, I commend each and every one of us for saying
yeah.
yes,
Yes.
for being so fully present to this difficulty, to this resistance,
Mm,
and that we co-regulate through the breath. I'm reminding each and every one of us that we
mm,
have these beautiful lungs and this beautiful heart that can regulate at any time our nervous system gets, we get too far into our head, right? And all of a sudden, here I am. I'm upstairs, trapped, and my heart is beating really fast. I
mm,
cut off the breath.
mm.
So let's just come home to one another right now. This is a sacred place.
It is indeed.
And we get to, and we can
Mm,
just slow it down and navigate in grace.
yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Ooh.
So beautiful.
Yes.
And this, this is the receptivity, right?
Yeah.
And this is what's available to us in every moment, no matter what we're going through, whether we did just get news from someone who we love and adore and had wanted to spend the rest of our life with, and all of a sudden they're like, I can't stay any longer, I have to go, or whether it's related to finances or something going on in your family or with work, whatever you're experiencing in this moment, as Christina so beautifully modeled, and yes, placing our hand
Yes.
on our heart and feeling each beat of the heart and knowing that that is connected to our infinite nature. One might
Yeah.
call that God or, source or the universe, whatever
Mm.
languaging you use. We love to use God, and you know, sounds funny to use God, right? But you know what we're saying, what I'm saying here. So just, yeah, just breathing and allowing our whole entire body, our whole entire being to be nourished by
Mm.
each breath that comes in, like a
Yeah.
wave, right? Like a wave, right? Coming into the ocean, whatever your favorite ocean is, whether it's the Atlantic, Pacific, the Indian, you know,
Yeah.
whatever your favorite water is on this earth in terms of the ocean, just feeling each breath coming in, a beautiful wave coming in to nourish you, and a beautiful wave, you know, that now goes back out to the ocean, maybe pulling out, you know, all of the resistance, all of the hurt, all of the fear, all the confusion, you know, just letting all of that be pulled, you know, out of your system because you, our sacred sister, and if listening, our sacred brother, do not need to carry any of this in your body. You can
Yeah.
safely and sacredly release it all and set it
Yeah.
all free.
Yes. One thing that's being called into the heart for me is that we are not alone in this. What we just named this particular story,
Yes.
the understanding that each one of us are really navigating the waters. And I really invite us to stay present in the heart. And I'm going to invite us to do some sound healing because it is the way out of the head. And I
Mm.
will just model it and we'll just
Yeah.
take a few moments of just take a deep inhale and we're going to just to the sound of om or ah for
Mm.
a release, like an ah to a release the energy and to come back into the heart center. And as we're coming into the heart center, I want each and every one of us to focus on the back of the heart. I
Mm.
call this the shadow realm. It's where the most deepest of the painful stories get locked energetically is at the back of the heart. My daughter was so beautiful when she named it yesterday. She said it and I saw it and I felt it and I understand it. And I'm hoping this is so for you as well, that we breathe from the front of the heart when we do deep breathing or any yoga, but let's it go to the back of the heart where we call the shadow realm and allow there to be light brought in through the sound. So we're going to take a deep inhalation and exhale with a all the way out. Another inhale in, higher frequency of
Yeah.
all the way out. Inhale in, go to the higher frequency.
Ah. Mm.
And just sit with your eyes closed and breathe normally. Mm. Allowing the medicine in. Just simply allowing the mother, the loving eternal mother, to wrap her arms around you
Yes. Mm.
and say, it's all right, my baby. It's
Mm.
okay.
Mm.
Speaking to ourselves as mothers do to infants, it's okay.
I've
It's
got you. I will
okay.
never let you go.
I'll never let you go.
I adore you. I was with my 6-month-old great niece yesterday, right? Like looking into her eyes, into her soul, feeling her soul and her spirit, and just saying, I will always be with you, right? I say that to myself and to her and to each of you, like, I will always be with you. You know, you will never be alone.
And speaking with that voice, like, we speak with infants and animals the same way.
You
And
do.
we have this gentle tone. And this is such medicine for our own being. It's okay,
Yeah.
Christina. It's
Yeah.
okay, Melissa. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
so loved. You're so wanted.
Loved. So chosen. You've always been chosen. You'll always be chosen. So cute, right? These stories that we participate in until we're
Oh,
complete with them. Yeah.
yes. And we just are such beautiful women that
Mm.
know how to alchemize with the divine feminine, which is
Mm.
so easy and graceful
Mm.
and honoring and beautiful and all those words that convey a feeling of
Yeah.
oneness.
Yes.
Of course,
Mm.
of course you wanted to be invited.
Mm.
Of course you're worthy of being invited. And I invite you. I
Yeah.
invite you solely into the wonderment of life itself,
Mm.
into the grand adventure of being wanted and welcomed.
Mm.
I welcome you. I
Yeah.
welcome you. I am the safe harbor
Yeah.
for your heart.
Yeah.
And in all full honesty, now we know,
Mm.
now we know it's always been with us.
Yeah.
And now we get to look at the reflection. And if
Mm.
there's any resistance that we're noticing,
Mm.
we pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not from anger or resentment, from a full eyes wide open. Oh,
Yeah. And
yes.
here's the juiciness too.
Uh-huh.
Here's
Yes.
the juicy. This is the juiciest of the juice, I feel, is that we wholly, fully, completely receive ourselves and the infinite love, infinite light, infinite potential, infinite joy, infinite peace, infinite abundance, go on with everything that, juices you. When we receive ourselves wholly, fully, and completely in that, what is there to resist?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would like to like now open our eyes and let's speak to that place because it's not fully juiced until we really recognize where in this history or her story, your story, where in
Mhm.
your story, if I may, I just
Yes, yes,
ask permission,
please.
right? Where in
Mhm.
your story, in this particular story,
Mm.
did you not, for lack of a better term, turn right instead of left when you noticed in
Mm.
your vessel a
Yeah,
resistance of he wasn't welcoming you.
yeah.
There wasn't an, he was showing you
Mm.
beyond what you were holding.
Yeah.
Of course, you hold such an amazing container for all of us.
Mm.
When there were moments along the journey, I am sure that you were not really seeing what was he was laying down for you.
Correct, correct. Yeah. Well, there were many, many moments throughout the journey.
Can you name one? Like
Yeah,
just to come back to that little, that blessed person that found herself in EO when he said, "I'm leaving," that part of you went, "See, you didn't listen."
correct. Yes, yes. I kept resisting. I was resisting that, and I kept holding on, and I kept holding the hope in my heart, like that. No, we're meant to be together. I'm sure this is all gonna work out. And even after he left, I mean, you saw me. I was what I would consider a hot mess, and I can love and accept and embrace that about myself. And so I resisted.
You are fully in your expression.
Yeah, yeah, and so, he moved off island, and rather than just going, okay, this is complete, like, let's go, Melissa, what else is possible? I just kept, dreaming and fantasizing about the being together, and that kept me, tied in.
Yeah.
And, there's more to the story. It continued on, but it certainly, I could have allowed it to complete in that moment, but I was resistant. So,
Yeah. And I
yeah.
think that, and bless your heart on that, because I do know I'm on social media a lot, especially in the groups of divorce and separation. And I'm, as an alchemist, as a juicer, as a juicy girl, I don't do it, I don't witness it to pummel my heart
Mm.
more. I
Right.
do it as a facilitator of God to get more information as to what is it that we do in the human nature, and it's on both sides. So it's men and women
Mm.
telling their story of what their divorce or separation is feeling like from their perspective. And there's themes. I mean, they're saying the same thing that I feel, such as why me? And um, that holding on.
Mhm.
And what else that I notice? And bless their hearts, bless our hearts,
Bless
where
our hearts. Bless
we're
our
really,
hearts.
we're just really not
Yeah.
hopeless
Mm.
that we could carry two people through the train wreck. I swear, this is what it feels like, that I got run over by a train and it keeps coming back and running me over again.
Yeah.
And I still get back up
Mm.
and I'm still holding a spaciousness for the two of us and
Mm.
ultimately for the four of us because I throw my family, my children in there too, because they're impacted. And I'm like, okay, this is what a matriarch does. She holds this great grand container for the alchemizing. And if I just go deep into my spiritual being, I can get us through this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, holy
Yeah.
guacamole.
I know that one very
You
well.
know how
Again,
this
yeah.
ends.
Yeah.
It ends. This is how you can tell the story different, and it always winds up back in EO. I'm leaving.
Mm.
It is truly like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Until we do something different, the outcome will never be different.
Right. Correct.
Until
Correct.
I do something different with my story, because it's my story,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
your story,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I guarantee you they're not telling that story to themselves.
Right. Right.
Because if they did, we would be in relationship still.
Yeah. Yep.
Bless our hearts.
Bless our hearts. Yeah, and it's like as we begin to wrap up here, what you dropped us into is the juice, is the alchemy. I mean, again, it's amazing to me the resistance that I can feel and just that little tiny twiggle even in my nervous system is a lot now because I have come into so much peace, right, within myself, within my heart, and with my soul, and nourishing myself day after day, right, with the infinite love and infinite potential, infinite light that I am. And so when we do gift ourselves with those moments of being the juicers, aka the alchemists that we are, taking any experience, any situation, any circumstance, we could take any of it, all of it, run it through the juicer of our breath, into our heart space. And then we receive the juices that are real and true and natural and organic to us. And then
Yeah.
in that, there's no more resistance. So, just to acknowledge and name, this is the way in which we move from the resistance to the receptivity. And in the receptivity, again, as we wrap up, I will say that I'm sure for everyone listening here, if you have had similar experiences, again, it can be related to a relationship, money, work, health, anything. Everything is the guiding back into your heart, your soul. I have discovered holy, holy amazingness. Everything that I am now receiving is so beyond my wildest dreams and imagination. Um, I had to juice first, though.
Yeah,
I had to juice, and
absolutely.
even there were still some little twiggles there left, obviously, that we've acknowledged and named here today. And yet I was still able to I've still been able to receive so much, traveling the world, people inviting me to come and stay in their beautiful homes, and I mean just so much that I could name in terms of receptivity. And every day there's more and more that I'm gifted with receiving in terms of invitations, in terms of people dropping things in my lap and going, here, have this. And I'm like, whoa, wow, yes, okay.
Yes.
So
And as in what you were saying at the very beginning, right? We go from resistors to receivers, right? So this is exactly, coming full circle is when I'm in resistance, everything's stuck still.
yep.
There's no room for all the gifts of the universe to come through. There's none. It was like you were sharing with me, a family member that, she's in this place of so much beauty and love and she saw that. And all she could then talk about is how the world is in such a bad place and there's so much hatred. And it's interesting how we as human beings can, what part of the elephant are we looking at? Are we looking at the tail or are we looking at the trunk? And it's our choice. And in
Yeah.
any moment, we are not victims, but we victimize ourselves by choice.
Oh, we sure do.
That's why I'm saying we are choosing, I am choosing when I'm in this place of why didn't I get chosen? No, bad question. Best question is, how do I choose myself today?
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm adapting every day, I must say,
Mm.
because of this trajectory I'm in.
Yeah.
And my practice, my spiritual practice, I wake up in joy, whether I want to be or not. I have a practice of joy. I juice it every morning, and that's an active practice. I am on my knees. I am praying. I am in gratitude. I'm listening to music that is only highest vibrational tones. I am
Yeah.
doing yoga. I am going to the waters and getting in and baptizing myself in the divine. That's
Mm.
before my day even begins. I must. It is my medicine.
Mm.
I have such a sisterhood that is juicing me every day.
Yeah.
You, all
Yes.
my sisters, they're tuning in, they're checking in
Mm.
before I wake up and when I go to bed. I'm
Yeah.
receiving texts
Mm.
that are like, how's your heart today? How
Mm.
can I support you today? I love you so much. I am being so held. And that is my receptivity. I'm like, bring it,
Exactly.
bring it. This and so much more. I
Mm.
am going to come out
Yeah.
through this so much better than when I went in. And
Yes.
that is my
Yes. Yes.
intention. So I invite each and every one of us as we're going along on this journey, whatever you're experiencing right now, set an intention with us today.
Mm.
Truly, what is your intention for the outcome of this experience? Bring
Mm.
it forward now.
Mm.
My intention is to be in so much unconditional love that my partnership with my husband is nothing short of unconditional love of God.
Yes.
That I will get there.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
getting there. It is happening now.
Already within you too, as
Already within
you know
right
so
now.
masterfully as I
Yes.
do too.
Yes, that something so much better is wanting to be birthed through me as we, even if he does nothing,
Yeah, that's
he
right.
chooses to do nothing. This is my
Mm.
experience. My
Yes,
experience belongs to me.
that's right.
Nobody has to
What
change
it is.
anything for
That's right.
me to
Not
intend
one
to have the
thing.
highest
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah, exactly. I love that so much. Thank you for your beautiful, brave, bold heart. And,
You, my
yeah,
sister.
we are such infinite receivers, and there is more good, more yumminess, more divine deliciousness, more love, more light, more beauty, more of everything that our heart has ever desired
Yes.
coming to us and through us as we have shifted out of the resistance and into the receptivity. And the
Yeah.
receptivity comes through our divine remembrance of who and what we truly are and what we are absolutely worthy of. So thank you, Christina, so much for being, such a beautiful, loving, sacred presence in my life. I'm so beyond blessed to be journeying and to be dancing. We literally dance together sometimes, right? On the beach. And
Maybe.
so yeah, and
Yes.
for each of you here, our beautiful sacred sisters, and again, sacred brothers, we'd love to have you as well.
Yes.
And we're all in this together, and we are all the big juicy juicers that we
Yes.
be, and may we receive all that is here for us in this breath of
Yes.
right here and right now.
Yes. And complete allowance and receptivity
Yes,
that we can let our burdens go.
yes,
And doesn't mean we don't grieve,
yes,
but we will allow and invite grief to be our best friend and walk alongside of us. So we can feel all the magic and the wonder of life. And we can also allow the feelings to pass through us and transmute through us so that we can become the highest version of ourselves. And that is really the intention, I believe, of this life, of this great grand life is, you know, I just have to know that because it seems that there's a theme that we all go and grow through around money, around health, around relationships, around friendships, around all of
yeah.
it, right? Around death
Oh
that
yeah.
we can all speak to this. We can all feel in resonance with all of that at various times, So we are all truly walking each other home. And wherever you are on the wheel right now, I bless your journey. Know that you are never alone
Yes.
and that it simply is, as my great grand teacher, Reverend Michael Beckwith says, where is your practice today?
Yeah.
and get to it.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Beautiful.
breath, whether it's yoga, whatever it is, do it daily. Do
Yeah,
it with conviction and do it as a habit. Let this be your new habit.
that's right. Exactly. Exactly.
More wonder to come.
Yes,
Us all this
absolutely.
week. May it be divine and holy and sacred and juicy.
Yes. And until next time,
Yes, yes. Stay juicy.
stay juicy.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Let's see if I can shut this down. Stop recording. Wow. Woo!
Does it stop recording?